Okay, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Ahmed Al-Gheli teaching Mega Goal 5, Unit 6, the gender divide. And here we are going to take activity number 12 and activity number 13. The activity number 12 is the project page. So as you used to do at the end of each unit, you make a project. And this project, you will find it on page 94. We will take an example of this project in this class, inshallah. And in number 13, we will get a feedback from you, and you get your feedback also for yourself. We call it self-reflection. You'll find it on page 95. You will answer some questions to check how much you get benefits from this unit, the gender divide. Now, let's start with the project of this unit, the gender divide, unit 6. Think about and research method that and research methods that people have used to communicate with others throughout history. Before, not like today, people don't have the communication means that we have right now, so they use many different means of communication. As you can see here in these three pictures, look at here. What does this picture mean? You can see a dove or a pigeon, okay? And you can see here a man who is carrying the mail, like here, a white dove with a message tied to its leg. Look at the dove. The dove is a pigeon, and it's a kind of pigeons, and it has a message tied to its leg. Okay? Doves were used to carry mail before. And also this man, we call him a postman in his uniform carrying his mail bag, possibly delivering letters. He is delivering letters. And here, this is a very strange means which was used by Native Americans. It's called, okay, it is used to send smoke signals with a blanket. They fire a fire like as you see here, and they hide it with a blanket and make pieces of smoke to give signals to the people around them. So this was used before by Native Americans while they send signals or messages with a blanket to cut smoke, pieces of smoke, like as you see here. So this was a means of communication or a signal. Now let's go back to read about the subject we are going to make in this unit. Okay, so talk about the research method that people used to communicate with others through history. As we mentioned here, some examples. Native Americans, as you see here in this photo, used to communicate through smoke signal, as you can see. They used a blanket to cover and uncover the fire in order to make specific number of smoke puffs. We call these pieces of smoke, we call them smoke puffs. Okay, they rise in the sky, so they can give signals to the surrounding people or the people around them. Someone at a distance could watch and interpret the smoke signal. Interpret means can tell or can explain or can understand what they mean. Okay, and number 2, work in pairs or groups. Find out different methods of communication that has been used through time and make notes in the chart. So the instruction here or the directions here, you want you to work with your partner. Now you are not at school, so you can work with one member of your family to find out about different methods of communications. Now people communicate in very different means, so find one and that was used and make notes in the chart. You will see the chart after this slide, and you're going to fill it to tell to explain what the communications are. And use your notes and information that you have collected to prepare a PowerPoint presentation for your class. Later on, when you finish, you will make a presentation about your achievement. Now, look at the chart here. The communication method, okay, this was a project of one of your friends, one of your colleagues from other school, and he filled it in according to his research. He described the communication and the time period, the place, the personal group involved, the advantages and disadvantages of this means of communication. Let's take them one by one. The first one, Morse code. You know Morse code? This Morse code is used before in case of emergency. Okay. Distress signal also used called SOS. This is another signal also. If you are in a trap or if you are in trouble and you want to help, you use this signal. We will take it in details later. Number 3, pictogram signal or signs. This is called pictogram sign. This is another sign also. We will go to details about it. Cave drawings. This is very old, before ages, and it is about cave drawings. They use to use sculptures on the rocks, okay, in caves. The time period, okay, the Morse code started from 1920, and the stress signal started around 1909, and pictogram signs started from 1936, and this one around 40,000 years ago, very long time. Okay, place, Morse code, where is the place? Sorry. Okay, we will take this one. Disadvantages before the place and group involved and advantages. The disadvantages of Morse code is not everyone can decode Morse code. That means not everyone can understand what's the Morse code. It is a sign which is very difficult to understand if you are not familiar with it. The disadvantage of distress signal SOS, many signals and calls can go unnoticed. Maybe you will not be noticed and you will not be seen by the ones who can help. Okay. The disadvantage of pictogram signs, blind people need a verbal version. So blind people, the people who cannot see, they cannot get use of this sign. Okay, and the cave drawing, it can be misunderstood since there are no written words, only pictures, and also it cannot be staying for a long time because of nature changes, and it's not going to be clear on rocks. Okay, now here advantages, it is secretive and works well in emergency. Okay, it works very well in emergency if it can be decoded and understood. Distress signal, it is international, so there are no language barriers. So SOS is international and also can be read upside down. If you make it upside down, SOS, it can be read SOS as an emergency distress signal. Okay, pictogram signs, what is the advantages? There are usually pictures, so it is universal. So since there is a picture, it is very easy to understand, even if you don't understand the targeted language or the language written in it. Okay, and what about the last one, that is cave drawing? Here, it is a visual communication. It is a visual communication. This is an advantage, so it can be used and easy to understand and easy sometimes to decode it. And let's go to the second one, please. A person, group involved, mostly for armed forces, used for armed forces, and like the Navy, for military reasons, usually, not always. Used by people in distress, if they are in trouble, we use SOS signal, هذه, this one. And anyone who looks for instructions, anyone who looks for instruction can use pictogram signs. And here, the cave drawing by Homo sapiens, by Homo sapiens, yeah, that means it can be used by anyone, okay, and especially in the old ages and the people who are interested in history. Okay, place, emergency and war. Emergency and war places can use the Morse code. Okay, and distress signal SOS, ships, aircraft, or islands. Pictogram signs, stress, streets and stations also can be used in the streets and stations. Very easy. And here, number 4, cave drawing can be prehistoric. That means long time ago. Okay, self-reflection now. This is also answered by one of your colleagues who gave us feedback about things that he liked, things that he didn't like, things that he found easy, and things that he found difficult. And we can comment on some of them. Now, number 1, he says the common stereotype that men talk less than women is wrong. So the common stereotype, he thought that women talk more than men, but he found out through this unit that it is not correct, which is a very good thing to enrich your knowledge on information. Next one, according to studies, women worry more than men. Okay, yes, women worry more than men. So this is the thing that that your friend liked. Next one, men cannot adjust well to repetitive tasks. So men do not like repetitive tasks, things that are repeated, not like women. Women can be adjusted to repetitive tasks and can work with it. Okay, things that he didn't like, long reading passages. Again, he thinks that reading passages in this unit is annoying him and cannot be understood, and he found it, he didn't like it. Next one, more sophisticated grammar rules. He thinks that grammar rules are more sophisticated and difficult for him, so we'll advise him always to practice. Grammar becomes easy by practice. Practice makes perfect, as people say. Okay, next one, the font size of some question is too small. According to him, the font size or the writing in the book is small. He cannot read. Maybe he cannot read very well, or he cannot see very well, sorry. Now, things that found easy, the vocabulary in this unit is easier. Yeah, he thinks that vocabulary words are easy. The next one, I was able to understand the listening section, which is very good. Thank you very much, very good. Next one, collaborating with my classmates to make the project. If you collaborate with your classmates, or in these days you can collaborate with your family members to make the project, this will be very helpful and useful to all of you. Okay, now things that I found difficult, he didn't like and found it difficult. Writing an essay. Yes, writing an essay sometimes is difficult because in writing an essay you need to be well organized, and you organize your ideas and you divide them into paragraphs, and each paragraph is divided into sentences, and this, if you practice it, you will find it easier. Next one, filling this self-reflection. Yeah, he thinks that filling this self-reflection is difficult, while it's not actually. I think it is easy if you can understand and if you can express yourself truthfully and frankly. The next one, remembering words I have learned. Okay, if you can't remember the words you have learned, we call this thing, we call it passive words, passive vocabulary. That you can use them in speaking, in listening and reading, but when it comes to writing and reading, for recalling words, it is difficult, the solution to this problem is to practice. Practice, practice. Because practicing words by listening and reading will make it active vocabulary and can use it in writing and speaking also. Okay, now check about yourself. Talk if you can do this well, if you can do this quite well, not very well, and if you need to study it or practice it more. And I hope all of you take this one. So talk about gender differences and similarities. If you can do that, you can tick like this, or you can put a smiling face. Discuss stereotypes. Okay, hopefully you do it very well. Ask and give directions also. Okay, use verb, infinitive or gerund with different meanings. This is a grammar. Use passive forms of infinitives and gerunds. Okay, use auxiliary verbs after but and. Okay, but after but and. Use the present perfect simple and the present progressive tense. Okay, these two sentences also hopefully you can do it well. Use time expressions, how long, with for, since, all day, week, month, and so on. Talk about hobbies and interests. Okay, and the last one, use adjectives, prepositions, and gerunds. Okay, the words that he learned: gender, okay, witness, intuition, reflex, pullover, and thank you very much. And I'm very happy to teach you this book, Mega Goal 5, and I hope, inshallah, to see you soon. Goodbye.